So we got all the latest products here from Huawei, and obviously the focal point is the Mate X7, this ultra thin folding device, flagship device. But I was also captivated by these other releases. So we have the new headphones in a nondescript box because this is not retail yet. And then we have the Wi-Fi mesh system, the X3 Pro Suite, which I've never seen anything like this. You might be looking at that and thinking that's a marketing image. That's actually what the thing looks like. They took something that we're so used to seeing in one formula, a slab or a box, and they made it a piece of art. So anyway, we're gonna start by opening this up and taking a look at this glow. Then we'll do the headphones, and then we'll get to the Mate X7, which is obviously the focal point of this video. Okay, so here is the main unit. Then obviously we have our second node and some accessories here. Whoa. That is cool. 2.5 GE1, 2.5 GE2, and then power. And just look at it. It looks like a beautiful lamp. And then the fact that you don't have to hide it because it's not extremely ugly might improve your performance because you put it in a more prominent spot. So you see the mountain peak in the center. Of course, we've got to plug this in to see the glow. And then you've also got your extender. Now, I presume you could add more of these if you wanted, and it maintains a similar aesthetic, more of a plateau than a mountaintop, but I believe the glow is going to be similar. Our gigabit Ethernet and our power port as well. You've got a nice rubberized footing so it sits in place, and some relatively subtle Huawei branding in gold because I think these kind of have a golden glow to them when they power up. This is nice for cable management, a big area for the cables to exit, but still allowing the device to sit flat. Power's on. Does this? Oh, there we go. Nice. We should probably hit the lights to appreciate the glow here. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of one of those salt lamps. Have you seen those before? Oh, it's getting brighter. Interesting. So yeah, hit the lights. Look at the mood. Are you kidding? What a mood. It's wild that we have these devices around us for as long as we have, and nobody says, you know what? Ours is not just gonna be a slab. We are going to make one as a sort of standalone, beautiful thing. If you're in a bedroom or something and you need to turn the lamp portion off, I believe you can tap it. Intensity 1, intensity 2, back to off. If you want to be boring and just have it in a default setting and just say, I don't care about my range extender or my mesh Wi-Fi setup, like I'm not trying to flex, and I don't like the ambience, then okay, just turn it off. But it is cool to have that added touch, and it has that retro look with that glow. We have so many LEDs in our space now that are cold and surgical, and when you get those off at night and you set the ambience, and all of a sudden you got those warm lights.
Kind of like a lava lamp.
Yeah, it's breathing. Changing color now. More icy. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So this one now is somewhat animated, and it's sort of flowing through. Look, man, I don't know. It's kind of cool. That's my opinion. It's kind of cool. I never saw a Wi-Fi setup. I never saw a mesh setup like this. So it's novel, and it catches my attention. And then you get the performance to boot with the Wi-Fi 7. Look at these things. They're beautiful. All right, so next up, we have some headphones, and they've also been ambitious here. These things are called the Free Clip 2. Very different kind of shape for wireless earbuds. Now the case is familiar, although it has a different texture on it. It isn't smooth or glossy, instead more textured surface. Maybe, oh yeah, definitely enhancing grip. And these are things that slide out. Let me tell you, my kids lose these things. They had to practically disassemble an entire seat on an Air Canada flight in order to try to find, because it slides out of the pocket. So I'm thinking, this is not gonna slide out of the pocket as easily because they put that texture on there. So that might actually have some function, and it might not just be about looks. Type-C on the bottom, but those, look at those. Those are the buds. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Because I'm using a Huawei tablet here, it immediately brought up the connection interface. Look at this. I'm actually not gonna pair with the tablet because I'm actually gonna pair with the Mate X7 once I get this unboxed. But look at these things. What is even going on with that? Wow, it's like an earring. This is a totally different experience. You kind of have an open ear experience, so you can still interact with your surroundings and hear what's going on around you while still having audio, and you basically you hardly feel that thing on there. I mean, maybe because it's not so deep in the ear canal. They call it an airy sea bridge design. It's funny, this portion on the back is called the comfort beam to ensure a secure fit. See how it fits behind? So the majority of the weight is actually behind the ear, not on this portion of the ear, where it normally would be. So that's what it is. That's how it goes and how it works. Again, kind of like the Wi-Fi 7 system, a much different look and a different approach. So obviously I want to test these out. I think it makes sense to pair them to the Mate X7. I'll take them off for a moment, get the Mate X7 out of the box, and then we'll try them and see what they sound like. Okay, so now we've got the Mate X7, the latest folding flagship, super thin, high specs. Let's see what they're doing. Yeah. Extremely thin, you know, competitive with all those other flagships that are on the market, but a huge imaging system. Whoa. What kind of camera setup do they have on here? We will find out shortly. Also in the box, there's a SIM tool. We've got a case. They've included a case with a kickstand by the looks of it. Hinge protector that will go on the side. This has a leather-like texture. Oh, and it rotates. The kickstand also rotates. A power brick has been included, a beast of a power brick, 66-watt recharge. This is a cool thing Huawei does. They give you the Type-C connector and the Type-A connector mashed together almost in one port. And then there's a Type-C cable in there as well. Whoa. Okay, so the finish on the back here is unique. It almost kind of looks like white camo with a shimmer to it, and it feels great. It has texture, and somehow it's smooth yet still tactile. Like you can feel that there's a texture on there. Now they have some special terminology for this finish. Metallic thread integration into this texture. 900 warp threads, 1700 weft threads. Like I'm supposed to know what that means because it's some kind of 1600-year-old craftsmanship technique that I would definitely be aware of. And because it has those metallic threads, I presume if you had sunlight, it might shimmer even more so. It is crazy how slim this feels on the side. I mean, it is as slim as you can get it. These things are taking up the entirety of the width at this point. Look at that. Your SIM tray's down on the bottom. And when we go to our folded orientation, it is still plenty slim. We open it back up, satisfying little, listen. It's a spring, but it's not overly aggressive. It kind of just drops into place. Here's what it looks like unfolded. I can probably get more brightness out of it. Software update. Da-na-na, da-na-na. We are downloading an update, and while doing so, let's talk a little bit more about the specs. So the folded thickness is only 9.5 millimeters. They're calling it a quad curved design because everything is curved all the way around. Like there's no single squared off edge. Even these edges are kind of curved. The unfolded thickness is 4.5 mil. Obviously not where the camera is, and the weight is 235 grams. And the frame is a composite aluminum body frame. I realize at this point we haven't tried the case on yet, and this is fine with me. Just cover up the back. I never put the front portions on anyways, and it gets a little bit thicker, but you get full protection now. We're getting the kickstand as well, so it's the right angle and you get the big screen. I think you're just gonna have this case on there. I think it's a good idea. The display on the outside is 6.49 inches and it's 20.4 by 9, so it is still relatively narrow, so you can get across. When it's unfolded, it's 8 inches and the aspect ratio 8 by 7.3, so almost square. So here we have our slab phone comparison for thickness, and it's hard to believe because it folds up, but that's what you get when you have such a thin device in its unfolded state. When you sandwich the two of them together, you still end up with kind of like flagship category thickness. Obviously the difference here is this massive camera setup, which is not really what you're seeing on the folding devices. They're having some degree of bump, but that is aggressive. And I'm sure there's good reason for it. Let's go ahead and find out what the camera specs are. So you've got a 50 megapixel ultra lighting HDR camera. This is a 1/1.28 inch sensor. So a big sensor, f1.49 to f4. And it has a 10 size adjustable physical aperture. out of control. We're talking about aperture blades. We're not talking about software. We're not talking about something happening after the fact or inside of processing. We're talking about legitimate photography-like aperture that you would have on a much bigger camera inside of a folding phone. That's pretty impressive. 40 megapixel ultra-wide f2.2, 50 megapixel telephoto macro camera, and that's an f2.2. It's a 3.5 times telephoto, a 7 times optical zoom. So that's our 10X, which is, that could be your wallpaper, right, Mo? That could be your wallpaper right there. It's incredible. I feel like, can you properly see the detail on that? There's something as well just about previewing your images on such a large display. It's just a great display. Which camera am I using right now? That one or that one? Rear camera for better results. Yeah, I'm looking at the rear camera. That would create the most incredible selfie ever. Like, look at this. So this is 1X. I mean, unreal quality over there. I don't know if you're really able to appreciate it, are you? That's insane for a selfie. Smooth transition, check it out. So it's not like an ugly reboot. I just close it and it just slides in with animation. Did you see that? Nice. Okay, so 4K 60 of Mo. This is the main camera. He's testing the autofocus.
Oh, and probably low light, right?
You wanna get into some low light?
This is a little low light test. I guess a little stabilization too, because you're following me.
He's getting lower light.
And now this is like pretty dark.
It's very dark. It does not look dark on the frame at all.
And it's like holding up detail pretty well. You see my gray beards?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's much darker. I mean, for people that can't appreciate how dark it is, look how bright that is when I turn. It is way darker and wow.
All right.
You can see you have settings for ISO, and here's aperture right here. It's at f2, but we can go anywhere from f1.5 to f4. And now what you're gonna see is that the background, the far background, has a pleasing blur to it. Now, if I increase that all the way up to f4, now you can see that the background has changed. So the lamp, Jack standing in the back. Look at how Jack, the focus just falls off, but it does so gradually, unlike some of the software-based versions of this. If you want more things in focus, or you're shooting, I don't know, a landscape or potentially architecture or something like that, you might want to shoot at f4, but f4 is going to be tough in low light situations where you need the maximum available light. That's when you want to open that aperture up, and that's where you're going to get that shallower depth of field, which you also might want to use artistically. You're shooting, I don't know, a flower or something, or a portrait. Then you might want that focus fall off to create that kind of smooth ambience, or to direct somebody's attention to a certain part of the image. Okay, now what about multimedia? I'm always curious about how the speakers are set up on these devices, because you have an opportunity for more stereo spread. Oh, sounds good. Yeah, so legit stereo spread. It's interesting, one of them is high, one of them is low. So the whole thing is supported by these two gas struts, which support the weight. Then there's a channel along back that allows you to mount VESA mountable components like monitors, and in our case, a Mac Mini. And don't think for a second I forgot about the earbuds, because I do want to hear how those sound. So let's pair them to the device now that we have it set up. The other thing I just realized, Mo, is never again will you need to worry about left and right. These are universal, there's no left and right. Just pull one out, put it on. Connected, baby. And... oh, wow. Can you talk, Mo?
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Wow, it's crazy. Like you're shut off? I have it pretty loud, but like, I didn't expect that.
Are you suggesting there's noise canceling?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. With it open here?
That's insane. When I'm not playing the video, then there's like nothing there. But when I'm playing the video, it's not just the volume. It's also
like sealing you off.
You're not as loud as you. Here, try them. Yeah, just like that. Yep.
You're right. There isn't any pressure. I really thought they'd be pinching together, but they're not. They kind of just like find a hook, in a sense.
It's like an earring, kind of.
Yeah. Oh, it goes pretty loud. Oh, there's no way I could hear anything you're saying. Say something?
No, yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, there's no way. This is at full volume though. Say something?
Say something.
Okay, now I can hear you. But I see what you're saying.
I don't know if it's just the competing volume or if there is some sort of algorithm.
Maybe some clogging and minimizing. I don't know, but pretty cool.